Hey, how's it going, guys? Today is Tuesday, April 8th. We are 21 days into the program right now, and things are coming along. I'm feeling stronger. I'm definitely feeling like I've got more energy. I'm sore as all hell. It has been crazy how sore I am. But the soreness is definitely getting better, and I'm not as 24/7 in pain like I was before. But I feel like my body's definitely tightening up. We did the measurements last week, even though I fluctuated because earlier on when I first started, I lost a couple pounds, gained it back, lost inches, body fat. So it's good. That's the main thing there. Pushing forward, today is going to be the first workout strength training for the week. And I'm going to be doing, like I had mentioned before, chest and back for the first day. Second day when I work out is going to be shoulders, glutes, legs. And then the third day is going to be arms, abs, and core. And we're going to follow that through this week as well, too. Right now, I'm just making myself some coffee so I can wake up. I was able to sleep in a little bit today, so that was good. I enjoyed that. And I'm here. Today was kind of tough, though. I'm not going to lie. Just kind of getting out of bed. I just wanted to stay in there and just kind of stay cozied up. It was nice. But I'm here. I'm going to do this workout. Had a couple of clients that had to reschedule in the morning for some work stuff, so I'm able to start a little later, which is nice. I'm going to get the workout in before a lot of the other trainers come in with their clients, so it's good. And then I'm going to drink this coffee, and then we're going to hit it. All right. Let's see what we got. Good. Got a little water. There you go. That's it. I believe they call that the Americano. Okay, we're gonna hit it. We're gonna grab a towel. We're gonna do some chest and back, and let's set it up, okay? Okay, guys, so starting off today, I'm gonna be starting off with a Smith machine incline press for the upper chest, hitting the mid chest as well, and then I'm gonna be doing a chest supported prone row to kind of really get into that mid lats and then pull to the hips. So I'm just gonna warm it up right now. Again, I gotta be careful with my shoulder. And even if you don't have any shoulder injuries or any kind of injuries for that matter to work through, always make sure you get a good warm up, especially at our age in our 50s. So I've got nothing on here, but I'm just going through the motion so I can get everything, all the tendons and ligaments in the shoulder warmed up. And guys, in most cases, I usually used to warm up with like 10 to 15 minutes on the treadmill or the ski erg. I may go back to that, but right now I'm just going through a warm up, just using the actual exercises that I'm going to be starting off with and just throwing in a couple of very light warm up sets of that exercise. And that's perfectly fine when you're starting off as well too. Just doing it that way actually kind of saves time so that you don't have to put in 10 to 15 minutes on the treadmill. Because even if I did 10 to 15 minutes on the treadmill, when I first do whatever exercises I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start off with a lighter weight anyways and warm it up, just so I can get specific in that area. Okay, lighter weight. Oh, God, I'm sore. Open up that body. Okay. Felt good. You know, when you get back into training in your 50s, man, it is so different than how it feels in your 40s, your 30s, your 20s, obviously. But just the difference between 50s and 40s is huge. After I get back in shape, I'm never going to let it go this time. I got to be diligent. I got to make sure that I'm on top of that. Because I don't even want to attempt to try this in my 60s. That's crazy. I can't even imagine how difficult that would be. Okay, let's throw some weight on. Whew. Nothing too crazy. Again, we're still working through injuries. So if you noticed, when I was doing chest the first couple of weeks, I was always doing dumbbells so I could adjust the position of my shoulder and the position of the dumbbells in direction of my movement so that I could work around a stiff joint for the injury. But since my shoulder's been feeling so much better, we're going to try the bar. Again, like I mentioned before, the bar is very unforgiving. It doesn't allow you to have the same mobility as dumbbells, obviously, where you can work around certain sticking points. So you got to make sure that you're really warmed up and you're really ready to go with this. And don't force a really, really stiff area, especially for our age. If it doesn't feel good, go back to the dumbbells if you have a shoulder injury. But today, I'm not going to go heavy. I'm just going to try to play with the barbell and see if my shoulder can work with it. Ooh, all things considered, that was pretty good. Very good. One thing great about the bar is that because it's very unforgiving, it can force a deep, deep, deep stretch into that chest that you might not normally get with dumbbells. And let me explain why, because obviously dumbbells can go deeper because it doesn't have the bar to stop at your chest. But with that straight bar and with it being on a Smith machine, it allows me to bring the elbows out, really opening up that chest, where if I was to try that with the dumbbells, I have a tendency to just turn my arms, my hands down like that, see? And it affects that way that I feel that, especially that upper clavicular area of the chest, for the clavicle. So I really like that deep stretch. Okay, so let's go on up. We're gonna raise this. Okay. sometimes I wonder if part of why it's so much harder in your 50s is because in your earlier years, you could use all that pre-workout. And dude, that pre-workout is crazy how strong it is. It's so strong I can't even use it now in my 50s. I'm literally afraid that using that will end up giving me a stroke or a heart attack. Some of those things are so strong, it's crazy. I can't, at this age, I can't even drink coffee in the afternoon anymore, otherwise it'll keep me up all night. It's crazy. I remember being in my late 20s and drinking coffee at like 10 o'clock at night with friends at a cafe. Still be able to sleep easy, no problem. Those days, yeah. Now, 10 o'clock, I'm ready for bed. No way you're getting me out at that time. It's not gonna happen. That's good. All right, let's add a little bit more weight. So I'm really appreciating the deep stretch that the Smith machine is giving me right now, and forcing me to really open up with that elbows to the side, which I'm liking. Ooh, good. Whew, nice. I'm really happy at how my shoulder's turning out right now. That's very nice. Can't complain. Again, one of the number one things I see men in their 50s do when they get back into the gym, they haven't worked out in a long time, is that they start to think like they're 20, 30 years old again, and they start to push hard because they want results quick. Don't go for quick. Steady pace wins the race. Don't overdo it. Gradual increases make huge results. So don't be in a hurry. That's how you hurt yourself. And then you're sidelined. And the chances of you coming back after that is very tough. Very tough. Because then we can really kind of get defeated, right? In the head. Don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, big stretch. And oh. Okay. So we did one warm-up set. We're gonna do 3 working sets. 15, 12, 10. After this first month, 4 weeks, I'm gonna start to switch it up a little bit on reps, sets, different things like that. Right now, again, this first month, I'm really just focusing on the basics to really kind of strengthen the overall the body before I start to add in like another full body day where I start to add in more compound movements, maybe even a clean and press with dumbbells. Again, when my shoulder feels like it's up to it and it can handle it. And right now it's just building the basics. Okay, so That 35 felt great and difficult. And again, don't look at it as like you have to put on a whole bunch of weight in order to challenge yourself. I'm gonna try to do this 45 right now for 10. I might not do it, I don't think I will, but let's see how many I can squeeze out. I'm still gonna try to do a controlled eccentric portion, so not come down too fast, minimize momentum, come up as quick as I can so I can power out. Oh, I did it. Oh my God. But if you notice, even though I could control that eccentric portion coming down slower, I couldn't get that pause on the bottom. I think if I paused on every single one, I might have gotten out 5. So I didn't necessarily bounce and get that momentum, but by allowing myself to continually keep my muscles moving, even if it was very slowly, allowed that kinetic energy build up at the bottom. So even though I didn't bounce it off my chest, it still had a little bit of a rebound, which helped. Because again, I did 10, but I probably would have only got 5 if I was super, super strict. Came down, held it on my chest for a second, and then came up, because that would have been brutal. But I wanted to see how well my shoulder handled that weight for multiple reps, and I'm really happy. Not sore at all. It's good. It's moving around. After 2 sets, felt like it was opening up a lot more, so I'm happy with that. We're gonna do one more final set here, and then we're gonna switch it up. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay. Oh. Shh. 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 Oh. Oh. I think that was 10. I gotta go back and look at the video after this. I'm happy. My right shoulder is doing pretty good. 21 days in, no injury. Things are going well. Plantar fasciitis is feeling better. Remember the other day I'd mentioned that I wasn't necessarily feeling the pain anymore, but I could feel the stiffness. So it's feeling better, but I still feel it painful at the end of the day at nighttime. So I'm still rolling it out when I get a chance. I need to roll it out here in the middle of the day when I'm at the studio, even if it's not painful, just to help prevent it from really tightening up. And let's get on to our next superset. All right, let's go. Okay, guys, so I set it up now. We're gonna do some cable flies, straight flies with the free motion, and then we're gonna be doing a high roll using this bench over here and then switching up the arm on this side. So I'm gonna start off a little bit heavier than I did last week, adding a little bit more progression into my movement. I might have set those arms a little too far back. Do a hold back here. 1, 2, 1,003. 1,004. 1,006. Whoa. 1,007. Whoa. 1,000. Oh. 1,009. Oh. 1,000. Oh. 1,011. Oh. 1,012. Oh. 13. Oh. 1,014. Oh. 1,015. Oh, okay. If you notice when I was doing that, only until rep 7 did I actually remember to squeeze my biceps in. Because I was so focused on the stretch and my injury, hoping that I didn't injure it, or obviously re-injure, so I'm always being very careful, that I forgot a very important cue, which is when you're doing flies, when coming inward, squeeze the biceps in toward each other to get that deep contraction. And just goes to show you how it's easy to get distracted when you're doing a lift. And you want to stay focused the whole time, right? Okay. 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 So on that one, you can see I was really focusing on that stretch, really getting that stretch through, feeling as if I could really hear, and actually the sinewy of my muscles and everything just pulling and opening up from my lats all the way to all the muscles on my scapula. And it's a great, great stretch. Feels so good. Let's get this ready for the second set. Gonna go up a little bit in weight. Second set. Ooh, okay. Come back just a little bit. So, center ourselves. Okay. I am going to get a couple of wedgies so I can stick in there. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. So guys, very important. When you're doing a set and you're working through an injury, still, while you're being careful, focus on your form. That very first set, I did 15 reps, and I was focusing on my right shoulder so much on that deep stretch and holding it that I didn't injure it, that the first 7 reps, I was coming in focused on hands rather than biceps. When you're doing those flies, you want to focus on bringing the biceps in and straightening it so that you get a deep contraction in that chest. And so, did I ruin 7 reps? No, I still got benefit out of it, but I didn't maximize the benefit out of it. So always focus on that form. And you're talking to somebody who's been training people for over 26 years. So you always got to stay focused. Don't think that you got it handled, everything's good. Make sure every rep you squeeze out the quality in it, okay? Good. All right, second set. Oh, okay. 1,000, 1,000, 2. 1,000, 1,003. 1,000, 1,004. 1,000, 1,005. 1,000, 1,006. 1,000, 1,007. 1,000, 1,008. 1,000, 1,009. 1,000, 1,010. 1,000, 1,011. 1,000, 1,012. Oh, okay. Okay, much better. Although the first 2 reps, again, I forgot to do biceps, squeezing that in. So 3rd rep, I made it my focus to squeeze those biceps into each other. And then also, I held it longer. So instead of 1 second at its deepest stretch, I held it for 2 seconds. So I increased the progressive overload by 1, adding more weight, 2, adding another second longer in the deep stretch, and then 3, if you want to throw it in, proper form on better reps, right? So that all matters, okay. Okay, quick change. Now we're going to go into that deep stretch. Good. Going to add more weight. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Big stretch. Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. Deep stretch. That was awesome. Whew, you can feel that all the way through. If you're doing that stretch and really focusing on that stretch at the end, that pull is amazing. I mean, I can feel it all the way down to my lower lumbar. Big, 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 big deep stretch, just milking it and then pulling from that. Whew, that's a tough pull. So you don't need to go super heavy on this. But of course, as you get stronger, price it out accordingly when it comes to the amount of weight that you put on there. Whew, I love this combo. It's a great combo. It just feels like while you're contracting the muscles and tightening them up, you have moments of just amazing stretch, big stretch that just makes your body feel like it's opening up while it's tightening at the same time. And I love this combo right here. Whew, okay, we have one more set. Moving faster now than I did in the beginning, so that's a good thing. Energy levels are starting to pick up. My body's saying, okay, you old salty bastard. I figured out what you're trying to do, you fucker. Making us get into shape again. So let's try to go a little bit heavier again on this one, and let's see if I can even hold it. So on this 3rd set, progressive overload, remember you can do one of 3 things. You can either add more weight, you can add a longer pause in the deepest stretch or a longer flex contraction in the deepest flex, or you could add more reps at the end. Like if you're shooting for 10 reps and you can squeeze out 12 with good form, do it. And then that's gonna increase that overload. So right off the bat, this third set that we're finalizing this superset on, I added more weight. I'm gonna try to go for a longer pause. And let's see if we can add another rep at the end. So I'm gonna shoot for 10. 10 reps. Okay, remember to squeeze in with your biceps. Stupid. 1001, 1002, 1003. 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002, 1003. 3. 1001, 1002, 1003. 4. 1001, 1002, 1003. 5. 1001, 1002, 1003. 6. 1001, 1002, 1003. 7. 1001, 1002, 1003. 8. 1001, 1002, 1003. Fucking 9. 1001, 1002, 1003. 10. Okay, let's try to go for another rep. 1001, 1002, 1003. 11. One more. 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay. Okay, so I'm really proud of myself there. Like I mentioned before, steps to overload on every set. Try to progressively overload to create that muscle hypertrophy to stimulate more muscle growth. So the way I did it on this last set, we're supposed to do 10 reps. I went up in weight, so check, progressive overload. I increased the hold time by 1 second to a 3-second hold in the deepest stretch, check 2. That's a second form of progressive overload. And then I also added an extra 2 reps at the end with decent form, maybe not the best form. So instead of 10 reps, I did 12, check 3. So I did 3 techniques of progressively overloading that, which is gonna reap benefits as I start to shape back up my body. So that's a great way to always keep in mind, how can you add that into every set, guys, okay? Now, that's talking. And let's finish this up. I'm gonna go up again in weight. Good, all right. All right. So I went up again in weight. Okay. Big stretch. 1000, 1001. 1000, 1002. 1000, 1003. 1000, 1004. 1000, 1005. 1000, 1006. 1008. 1009. 1010. 1011. 1012. Okay. Whew. All right, so that second exercise for the superset, I was able to progressively overload. Again, the different techniques, right? I added more weight, check 1, progressive overload. I added more of a hold time in the deepest contraction rather than the stretch, because the stretch was pretty brutal as it is. So instead of a 1 second hold, I held it for 2 seconds flexing, check 2 for progressive overload. And then 3, I added in 2 more reps at the end instead of the 10 rep we were shooting for. So that's extra reps. So I added 3 different techniques of progressively overloading that last set. All right, try to always check in one or two of them, one at least by more of a pause or adding more weight or throwing in another rep or two as long as you got great form. Find a way that you can progressively overload on every set. You don't have to go to failure, but as long as you're progressively overloading, you're gonna do great, your body's gonna shape up, okay? Awesome, we're gonna go on to the next superset now. All right, final superset we're gonna do here is I'm gonna do a cross bench pullover. Really open up those lats, and I love that stretch. You feel like your rib cage is expanding, and then we're gonna bring it up, straighten out the arm and tighten and kind of push through the chest. And then we're gonna do one arm rows, which I used to absolutely love, but they get exhausting. Let's see. Okay, let's not go crazy. Let's see how the shoulder feels. I haven't done a dumbbell cross bench pullover in a long time. So I think I should be perfectly fine the way everything's folding. This movement itself doesn't necessarily trigger my injury, so we're gonna take a look. I'm gonna go light, and let's focus on that stretch. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh. Okay, something to keep in mind. I was focusing so much on the stretch in my shoulder, again, that I didn't give the chest portion of that exercise enough respect and due diligence. So normally, if coming up over, I would straighten, flex through the chest, pull through the chest this way, hold for a second, and then come back. But being so hyper focused on the injury and that stretch, hoping that it wouldn't just like click in, and it didn't come anywhere near it, which is good. The move became super exhausting. And I think you've noticed if you've been working out at any time, the more you focus on the lift and really concentrated, smooth, slow down effort, it's a lot harder, right? So I feel great that my shoulder didn't like click on this or didn't cause my injury to flare up, which is great, but that said was exhausting. So I'm gonna leave this right here because I don't think I'm gonna go up on the next one. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna go single arm row. Not gonna go too heavy on this. I'm already starting to feel this. Okay, so something to keep in mind. There are many different ways of rows. In most cases, most people like to do the hip right through here, which is what I'm gonna be doing. But there are, depending on the areas that you're focusing on, different ways to do your rows. 3, like a thoracic row, can be straight to the side of the chest, and then turning your head inward like this to get a deeper contraction in your scapula. And I need to stop talking because I'm forgetting how many reps. I think this is 6, 7, 8. I hope so. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh, whew, I felt that. When done properly and you pull to that hip, you can feel it all the way down to the side, down the lats. Whew. Oh, God. Today's workout feels great. Moving a little bit quicker, feeling like I've got more energy. And the energy is definitely focused into making each rep better and really gaining the benefit of being mind into muscle and focusing on that. It's grueling, it's painful, but God, you reap your rewards in so many ways. I mean, not even just in a physical way, but mentally. Being able to focus on that, one, takes my moment out of all the shit that's going on in my life with the world, my family, everything. And you get to have a moment of just kind of getting back in touch with your body and getting to feel it again. So one of the huge positives of working out is taking that time to focus and push through all the shit that you're going through in your life, all the worries and troubles and fears, hopes, all those things that you deal with as a family man, as someone who has children, a wife, a business, everything that you can worry about and you do worry about. Taking the time to work out gives you that moment to kind of get away from it. Throw in some music, or if you're like me, I don't like to even listen to anything when I work out. I just want to focus on myself and my breathing and my movement. But it's so important to take that time for yourself. You got to do it. Otherwise, you get to where I was and you end up getting all that weight. But I'm going to lose it. You're going to do it with me. You're going to join, and we're going to do it together. You're going to subscribe to this vlog, and you're going to watch all my tips and everything, and then we're going to get in shape together, okay? Come on, let's do our second set. Let's go. Whew. We're going to start back up on that side. Okay, so second set. If I'm not going to go heavier with the weight, then I want to try to see if I can, in this case, clean up the form. I'm going to try to see if I can do a second press at the top for the chest, hold and squeeze, and then a second at the bottom, okay? Good. That way, I will be progressively overloading in that fashion in which I will be making it more difficult with a pause. Hold, okay. Deep stretch. 1,000. 1,001. 1,000. 1,002. 1,000. 1,003. 1,000. 1,004. 1,000. 1,005. 1,000. 1,006. 1,000. 1,007. 1,000. 1,008. 1,000. 1,009. 1,000. 1,010. Okay. Definitely felt that better, and my movement was better. My body was ready for it. Okay, rows. So remember, we always start off on any exercise with two sides to it. We always start off on the second set on the opposite side we started off on the prior set, which also happens to be the side that we ended on for the first set prior to it. Okay, so right here, let's go. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, definitely feeling that. One more set to go. Whew. Feels good. Today's the second week that we started isolating body parts. Again, to reiterate, day 1 is chest and back. Day 2 is shoulders, glutes, legs, calves. Day 3 is all abs and core and arms. That's the 3-day split of strength training I'm doing for the first week. Now going into the second week, probably do one more week of it next week, and then I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I might be adding a 4th day next week. We'll see how my schedule is and how busy I am. But I'm definitely gonna start adding in more cardio now that my plantar fasciitis feels like it's on the verge of just going away. I gotta make sure that I don't trigger it, so I'm not gonna do a lot of extensive cardio. And I think that's one of the key components as to why my muscle is building. I'm dropping inches, but I'm not dropping weight. It's because I'm not getting enough cardio in. But again, I'm making sure that I don't overdo it on the plantar fasciitis. The moment that clears up, then I'll definitely be getting in a lot more treadmill, low intensity, steady state cardio so that I don't burn muscle and then focus more on burning calories and fat. Okay, so we have a third set. Okay. Oh. You know what, I'm gonna go up. So progressively overload, I was just thinking, how am I gonna progressively overload this last and final set? I held it for a second at the back in the stretch, I held it for a second at the top. I don't necessarily in this one feel like I wanna hold any longer. That second in this position, in this type of exercise is pretty brutal. So I'm gonna go up in weight. Yeah, I'm not gonna go hugely up in weight, but I am gonna go up. So we're gonna progressively overload that way. I'm not gonna hold the stretch longer, but I may eke out one more rep. So we're shooting for 8. We did 3 sets, we're doing 12, 10, and then 8 reps. So I'm going up in weight to progressively overload this last set. Let's see if I can squeeze out a good extra rep or 2, and that'll be a second form of progressively overloading that last set. Here we go. Come on, old man. 1,000. 1,001. 1,000. 1,002. 1,000. 1,003. 1,000. That was a bad pause. 1,004. There you go. It's better. 1,000. 1,005. 1,000. 1,006. 1,000. 1,007. 1,000. 1,008. 1,000. 1,009. That's one more extra than I was shooting for. 1,000. 1,010. 1,000. 1,011. 1,000. 1,012. Oh, okay. So that tells me a lot. One, since I was able to progressively overload that final set with 2 techniques, one being more important as a tell sign, I was able to go up in weight 5 pounds. We were shooting for 8 reps. I was able to do 4 more reps, 50% more than I was shooting for, which is from 8 to 12 reps with this heavier weight and keep pretty good form. So it tells me that my shoulder can definitely take a lot more. Next time we do this, I'm gonna start off at least 10 pounds heavier on the dumbbell. Try to hold the pause for 1 second on the bottom and the top on the first set, which I didn't do on the first set. So I can definitely start off stronger. I'm gonna put that in the back of my head on my notes, and we're gonna approach that way. So always remember that too, how much you did and finished. If you have to take notes, take notes. And then the next time you approach this exercise, granted that all things are in common, your energy level is everything, shoot for more. Okay, that was great. I had a great workout. And I'm just gonna get ready for clients coming in. We did day 21, I believe it was again. I'd have to take a look, but we started on March 19th, and I'm working my way 8 months to November 19th to drop the 54 pounds by my 54th birthday. You're going through all of this with me. I'm gonna show you and talk about everything I'm eating, the supplements I'm taking. I'm not taking a lot. I haven't even been regularly taking a good protein shake, so I'm gonna go shopping for that this week. I'll probably take you with me. And just making changes to my food. I'm feeling stronger. My plantar fasciitis is getting better. My mental clarity and my focus is getting better, and that's huge. I'm looking forward to the way I feel after my workout, and I wanna make sure that you understand that. It's still fucking hard for me to get here to do the workout. I could have been here an hour earlier, set up, had my coffee, but I laid in bed a little bit longer because I have long days, but we all have long days. Who doesn't have long days these days, right? Working, taking care of family, everything. As men, we have to focus on these things, but you gotta take the time to come in because I'm feeling a hell of a lot better after my workouts, and I'm feeling so glad that I came and I did it, and it really just launches the rest of my day, which is why I'm a strong believer in trying to get the workout in as early as possible, because it really is a mood setter for me for the rest of the day. I feel positive, I feel good. I eat better for the rest of the day because I put in that time and effort to work out. So I'm really focused on making sure that I'm paying off in dividends by getting in the right foods, or on busy days, making sure I'm keeping out the wrong foods and not so much as focusing on getting in all the right foods. And those are things that we have to deal with as men. In a perfect world, would we have all of our foods, meals, 4 or 5 meals a day fit perfectly with the macros for us? Sure, but we don't live in that perfect world. We do what we can now, and we do our best, okay? And you'd be happy with that. But thanks for tuning in today. Again, day 21. We're doing great, and we're on our 8-month journey. We're gonna drop the weight, get looking good, and feel good about ourselves, okay? One thing we can control in life, and that's our health. Let's do it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.